Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Relive Success Training. My name is Richard Vance, and I welcome you this beautiful Saturday morning. I hope it's beautiful where you are. I have to tell you, and I don't mean this to, to have you be jealous or anything, but I am enjoying being up at South Lake Tahoe, California right now, where we just had some fresh snow and it's absolutely beautiful here. And as Mindy and I were talking about earlier, we were having a chat about this business and the value that you can take this business anywhere. And for my wife, Linda, and I, we chose to take it up here to South Lake Tahoe for a month and just enjoy the absolute beauty up here and continue working our Relive business. So again, thank you for being with us this Saturday morning, and congratulations on making a great decision to be part of Relive. The fact that you're here, you've made a commitment, first of all, to your own education, to learn more about Relive, to grow within the Relive business, and to work to be successful in this business. So thank you for being here this morning. A little bit about me, if you don't know me. I was introduced to this business about 23 years ago now by the woman who would later become my wife, Linda. Linda was already successful in Relive. She had already built a great business in California and was stretching out into other states. And I met her when she was probably in her 6th to 7th year in Relive. And she had she had come up from Southern California to Northern California, where I lived, to expand her business. And she was really there to help a family friend of hers, a gentleman by the name of Nick Priest, who happened to be my neighbor. For a year, I watched her come up from her home and spend a few weeks at a time working with Nick. And admittedly, I thought Nick just had a girlfriend, because I kept seeing them dressed up every night, going out and to some place. I thought, wow, they're that looks like fun. They're out dating or something. Turns out she was actually helping him build a business. And today, Nick Priest is a silver presidential ambassador with Relive, built a great successful business. And it really was that mentoring, it was that help that Linda was able to provide through those courses of visits. Well, we met and realized that we both were single. I was raising a 7-year-old daughter at that time as a single dad, and we built a relationship. And it's interesting because during that relationship, a lot of people thought, well, certainly she tried to get you into the Relive business, right? It's like, no, actually, she only insisted that I take the products. She wanted me on the Relive products because, as she put it, I want you around for a very long, long time. And she basically told me how much faith she had in those products, and that if I were to take those products faithfully and consistently, then I would enjoy great health. So she had quite a commitment to what she was doing. At the time, I was with Bank of America. I was running a division of their technology and enjoyed it. It was funny, when I met Linda, I was 20 years into that business. I was an executive with the company. I thought I was doing pretty well. The interesting thing was my income was not much more than hers after only 7 years with Relive. And folks, this is where I learned the value of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner like Linda. Because no matter how well I did over the course of that business, if the company didn't do well, I didn't do well. There weren't increases in compensation along the way. There weren't the various benefits that come with it. And Linda just worked a little harder, and she doubled her income in the course of a few years. And it wasn't but a few years after that, she doubled it again. And she had control of her income. She had control of her business. Someone was always going to tell me what I was going to make and how much I was going to make. Well, I guess the second blessing, besides meeting Linda and becoming married, and we're now 22 years into our marriage, was that I was able to retire at 55 years of age. We hit that thing called a recession right around 2008, 2009. And my job at that time was to lay people off, was to roll their salaries back, take away benefits, all the things I absolutely hated about being in that management position. And instead of continuing with that, I had an option. I had an option that others didn't have, and that was to be able to retire. I hit 30 years with the company at 55 years of age, and they offered me a wonderful opportunity to retire. So I did. And I thought about going into consulting, stay in technology. But Linda came to me and said, look, you're free now. See, what I do with Relive, I can go anywhere. I can do the things I want to do when I want to do them. You can go back into an office. You can continue working 12-hour days, but I want to travel. I want to see the world. And I'd love to have you do it with me, but I'm going to do it with or without you. So what I'd like to offer is, why don't you join me in my business? And great decision. Joined Relive at that time. It's been 14 years since I joined her in this business. Haven't regretted a day of it. I've absolutely had the most fun. We do things together. We travel together now. We have that freedom together, and it just was an amazing decision to make. I will say this though: before I made that decision, I asked her something. You see, I had been around Relive for years. I had traveled with her to conferences. I'd sat in the sessions, workshops, and even created a lot of them in PowerPoint to help her along the way. But I had never done the business. And there's a difference between knowing the business and doing the business. And so I asked her one request, and that is that she mentor me, just like she would a brand new person in the business, that she teach me. Because teaching and learning is fundamental in our business. Nobody comes in knowing how to do this. And the strength of the mentorship that we can provide people when they come in really helps them get started, helps them be successful. So again, I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning. Congratulations on making a good decision, and congratulations on being with us this morning. And hopefully some of the things I can impart this morning will help you in your business. Just a few points that I always like to start with, because I think they're fundamental. And that is, leaders in this business are always positive. They have a great positive attitude. They lift people up. Leaders take consistent action. And I think this is important too, because if you want your business to grow, you're constantly taking action that works on the bottom line of your business. It's not about organizing your office or that kind of thing. It's about taking action that actually builds your business, moves your business forward, setting appointments, sponsoring new people, and always practicing your business with integrity. One of the things that I was most impressed about Relive before I ever joined, when I went to my very first conference 22 years ago in Nashville at the Opryland Hotel, was the people I met. The people impressed me. The people, the integrity of the people, the quality people that I met. That was the first thing I saw. The first thing I understood before I saw a presentation was that I was around really good people. And I think Relive attracts good people. Leaders shine the light on others. And I think this is so important. I tried to practice this in my technology business, and I believe it in Relive. And that is, it's not about us. It's about others. And the more we can help others succeed and achieve and demonstrate our appreciation and recognition of those achievements, I think that's very, very important. Leaders are a product of the product. We take these products faithfully. I mean, I think we need to reflect that. Right now, healthy aging is our goal through this company as we talk to new people. And I think we need to reflect that and taking the products faithfully. And so those products can actually reflect in our own health and our own well-being, I think is vitally important. We are walking billboards. And finally, leaders build teams. And I think this is something we need to go back and think about every once in a while. There's a lot of there's a lot of emphasis these days on building great customer bases. And I do believe that has to happen. To have a healthy business, you need a balanced business. But we also need to build teams, teams of partners, teams of associates who are part of our Relive community, who also are like-minded in building businesses, building this Relive message around the world. So we do that by building teams. And by doing that, we also build a sustainable business that will pay us for a lifetime. So today, I'm actually going to focus on one particular area, excuse me, and that is finishing this year strong. Finishing it strong and starting the next year, 2023, on a really good footing with momentum behind you, with wind in your sails going into the next year. And there's so many opportunities to do that right now, things that should motivate you to really finish this year strong, and great opportunities to build in the new year. Just a moment here. Good. Clear my throat a little. Clear my throat a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, it's a little early for me this morning, so I'm still a little froggy. Anyway, so we're going to start the new year really well, but we're going to finish this year strong. Come on, wake up. There we go. So here's a year-end checklist that I think everybody should kind of, jot down a few of these things. For starters, take stock in your goals of 2022. How did you do? If you had goals set, if you actually had written down goals, and by the way, I absolutely always recommend that you write down goals that are not written down, goals that are not shared with others. Are they really goals? I mean, they're just kind of out there in the ether somewhere. Write your goals down, put them down on paper, review them constantly. So take stock in your 22 goals. Did you meet those goals? Is there still time to achieve some of the things that you had intended to do? If you didn't, evaluate why. What got in the way, and how you can alleviate those things so that you can remove the roadblocks that allow you to succeed and move forward. At the same time, acknowledge your achievements, those things that you have achieved this year. Look back on the year and give yourself a pat on the back for those things that, well, you either achieved, or maybe they were surprises, things that actually exceeded your expectation. Something happened in your business, it just started ramping up, and you achieved some things you hadn't intended to do. Give yourself a pat on the back. Celebrate that. You should celebrate your own achievements. Even if others don't see them, you know them. What one thing can you do now to end the year with a bang? Think about that. Okay, here we are starting in November. We have 2 months left in this year. And if you think about it, the fiscal year actually ends January 31st. I mean, you could take it there, but just to finish this year strong, these next 2 months, what one thing could you do to make a difference in how this year ends? And in doing so, put you on a road of momentum into the next year. And I'm going to offer one thing to you, and that is achieve promo 1. Qualify for that extra 10%. Okay, get yourself, if you do not have them now, get 10 auto ship customers before this year is over. Have them on the books. Get that extra 10% coming back to you. Okay, that's a great little bonus going on right now. It's money on the table. And what you're doing by doing that, if you go out and achieve that, if you're able to bring in additional preferred customers on auto ship, what you're doing is you're creating volume, you're creating income coming into your business before the month even starts. Okay, it's a great goal. I mean, this is this is how we should build a great customer base. And that is through this promo one, building auto ship orders that are going to be in our volume every month, time after time. And of course, there's other perks go along with it. There's the opportunity to achieve the Sandy Award for a cumulative auto ship orders over the course of the year. But that extra 10%, that's money on the table. Don't leave it behind. Prioritize and compartmentalize. Sometimes we take the shotgun effect at things. We just kind of spray our attention and our energies in all directions. In these next 2 months, prioritize what's important. What is going to give you and deliver to you the biggest bang in your business? What's going to move your business forward the most? Decide what those things are. And the other things, put them in a box. Just kind of put them aside. Saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to get to those things. They're not as important. I'm going to prioritize my business right now, and I'm going to focus on these 1, 2, maybe 3 things tops, and finish this year strong. So put priorities on things and put them first. And the other things, they don't go away. You just put them in a box a little bit, and you're going to revisit those things later. Follow up to win. This is a great time to be really working through your business. Follow up with those people in your parking lot, the people who said no for now, and go back and revisit them again before the year's out. Maybe they're going to be your great, new customer, or maybe they've decided, you know what, it's time for me to start that business. I want to start the new year, with some income coming in. And so maybe this is a good time to talk to people that you haven't talked to before about the Relive business, and see if maybe a little additional income coming in is something that is attractive to them. So follow up with your downline, follow up with your customers that haven't ordered in a while, and use those as a source to finish this year strong. And finally, the last thing, show gratitude. I think this is a really good time to reflect on your business, on the people who are part of your business, your distributors, your other master affiliates that are partners with you in this venture, and your customers, the people who order all the time. Reach out and show some gratitude. Maybe it's through a Relive postcard, thanking them for an amazing 2022 and being a customer, and you're grateful for having them as a customer, and looking forward to many great things in 2023. And the same way with your distributors. Find a way of reaching out and expressing your appreciation for being a partner and part of the Relive community. This is a really good time to do that. And, again, it by doing so, it lets people know that, one, you appreciate them, and two, you're right there with them, helping to grow this business and support them. So good time to show gratitude in what we do. We need to talk about requalification. Now, with requalification now down at 2,500 points in volume versus the 5,000 as it had been a year ago, it should be pretty easy to get everybody requalified. So this would be a good time to go through, review your master affiliates, review the people that haven't requalified, and reach out. How do you do that? Of course, 2,500 PGPV in a single month requalifies you, or if you bring in a new master affiliate at 2,500 points, again, that's going to requalify you. Your team of downline MAs need to do the same. Okay, and to do that, just if you're not aware, to determine who in your team needs to requalify, sign into relive.com, go to your dashboard, from the drop-down menu, select reports, and then from the reports, the pre-configured reports, select requals. And by sorting the list by going up to the top of the requal heading, the column, just hit the down arrow there. You'll see no, yes, and no. Hit no, and those people who have not yet requalified will all pop up at the top. Depending on how big your organization is, It could be extensive. When I do mine, I'm seeing globally, those people who haven't requalified. And I take the time. This is the time then to reach out and work with those people. And don't just text them. Call them if you can. Get on the phone, call them, and reach out to them, and help keep your team together. So make sure everybody is requalified going into 2023. It's going to be an exciting year. You want everybody along with you for the ride, and keep your team together. Well, if we're doing that, we're really setting ourselves up then to start 2023 strong. And so now's a good time to start putting your goals together for 2023. All right. I know you're still wrapping up 22. You're still trying to finish the goals for 22. But based on what you've seen, based on where you want to go, where do you want to go in 23? Knowing where you want to go will help you get there. We can all jump in our car and start driving, but knowing where we're going really is beneficial. Otherwise we're just going to drive around aimlessly and hope that we land on the place we wanted to go. So let's put a set of goals together that will get us to where we want to go as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. And so now's a good time to start doing that. And I suggest if you're relatively new in this business, you sit down with your mentor, sit down with the person who introduced you into this business, and do that goal setting together. And they'll give you some great tips, some realistic tips as far as how you should put those goals together. We've all had people come into this business and the first thing they say is, well, I want to go to ambassador. And that's really great. I love that. But you know what? Let's get you to director first and then key director. And let's start moving up the ladder that way rather than shoot for the stars. So putting goals together that are achievable, that have time frames behind them, I think is really, really important. We're going to break your annual goals down into quarterly goals and then into monthly milestones, so that you can see what your progress is as you go along in your goals. Goal setting requires just a few points, but they're vital points. They're very important. Knowing what you want to accomplish is the most important. Understanding what it is you want. What is your goal? What is it you want to accomplish? And being specific. It's not about, well, I want to make more money. That doesn't say anything. I want to help more kids with the Calogres Foundation. Again, that's not specific. It's a great goal, but what does it mean to say that? You should actually spell out specifically what it is you want to accomplish. And then you need to express when you expect to accomplish it. It can't be open-ended. You have to actually have milestones along the way as to what you're going to accomplish by a certain period of time. Okay. You want to know how you're going to do it. How am I going to do this? What is my plan of action to be able to achieve that goal that I've set for myself? What are the things that I need to do on a consistent basis to make that happen? And I think finally, and I think this is critical too for success, and that is to whom you're going to be accountable to. As I said before, a goal that's just kind of spoken into the wind isn't really a goal, because you're not being held accountable to it. I like goals that are written down, things that you can see, things that are tangible, things that you can go back to and review. And I also believe you need to share those goals with somebody else, somebody you trust, somebody who will be a trusted advisor or mentor to you, that you can share these goals, and that person can help hold you accountable, that you have a check-in with that person every once in a while, and that person knows what your goals are, and basically you can talk about where you are on the path to achieving those goals. So to whom will you be accountable for your goals? Perfect diagram for it right here, how one leads to the other. What you want to accomplish, being specific in the time frame in which you will accomplish your goal, and then leads to how will you accomplish your goal? What is your plan of action? Breaking it down into steps, being very specific what you intend to do to accomplish that very specific goal. And then finally, the accountability factor. Sit down with somebody you trust. It could be somebody, it could be your upline, somebody who knows you pretty well. Maybe it's somebody sideline. Maybe there's somebody in another organization you work really well with. You have great trust in that person and a great working relationship. Maybe it's that person, but work with that person, share your goals. Maybe you can share back and forth. Maybe that person will share their goals with you and you can hold each other accountable. And by doing so, you're more likely to achieve those goals. So we talked about one of those goals that you should really work to achieve is that promo one, an additional 10% on RV bonus. And the key there is this is on your retail volume. This is not on the business volume. So it really is a nice little pop to your paycheck. So during the calendar month, personally sponsored 10 plus auto ship orders. It doesn't mean you have to do 10 each month. You should have 10 each month that are on your books ordering, customers, preferred customers, distributors, and earn an additional 10% profit on those auto ship orders. That's a great little boost. It's money on the table. Don't leave it there. And by doing that, you're building your business. And by the way, those preferred customers, those people who are consistently taking the product, and that's one of the things that AutoShip does is it provides a product on a regular basis. They don't run out. You're not waiting for them to reorder and forgetting. The product is right there. They're doing it consistently and they're getting results. And very often these are the people you come back to and because you're following up with them, you're checking in with them. Very often these are the people who go, you know what, these products work. I know people who need these products. I know people I can share these products with. And then you can talk and you can have that conversation about our business. You can help them see the value in coming into the Relive business. Oops. Now, if you needed any additional motivation, how about Magical Maui? Relive does this occasionally. They put these magnificent, incredible trips together, these once in a lifetime experiences. And they have put together a trip for next year. And it's going to be a rare one, meaning they've got a set number of people. They're looking at 10 distributorships going on this. So it's not a big pack of people. It's going to be a very intimate affair. And I think it's going to be one that is going to be incredibly motivating to strive for. And if you've ever been on a Relive trip, you know what I'm talking about. You know these things are absolutely amazing and not to be missed. So this is going to be one you're going to want to work for, and this should be part of your goals as you're putting your 2023 goals together. This should be part of your goal, and you do this by building new business. Okay, it's to qualify to be quick here. It's just the top new PGPV volume for the promotional period of November 22 through June 23. It's an 8-month period. Okay. Now, here's the good news. This isn't about what you've done. This isn't about, I can say, okay, well, I'm a presidential platinum ambassador. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help Mindy. It doesn't help Jim Shaban. It doesn't help people who've been around a long time and have big volumes or have large organizations. This is about brand new volume. What you do starting now, this month, going through June. And in reality, you could be a brand new person coming into this business as a master affiliate, and your whole world is open to you. You know a lot of people, and you have great influence in various centers of influence, your church, your school, your bocce club, your ski club, your tennis club, whatever it be. You have these great centers of influence, and you're going to go talk to people and start building over the next 8 months. That person has probably a greater shot at going on this trip than somebody who's been around for 30 years. So that's why I think it's really encouraging for people, especially brand new people, to look at this and understand you could be going on the trip of a lifetime here. So this is a really great contest. Minimum 10,000 new PGPV. I was doing a presentation for a group of people just the other night, and I mentioned that, and they go, "Oh my gosh, 10,000 is, you mean 10,000, at least 10,000 a month?" It's like, no, cumulative 10,000 new PGPV over the course of the 8-month period. And I said, well, just consider this. If you had 10 auto ship customers doing 150 points each every month, that's 1,500 points. It's just that alone. You do that for 8 months. Well, you're already past the 10,000. Now, what about bringing in a couple of master affiliates, or 3 or 4 during that period of time, or a few quick starts? All of a sudden, that 10,000, that's nothing. You're gonna blow right by that. So don't be fooled by that. Okay. There will be more rewards along the way. They've already kind of indicated that they're going to add little incentives to this along the way, but just stay tuned for it. If you're not signed up for the scoop, by the way, if you're not getting the promotional reminders every week through the Relive Scoop, make sure you're signed up for that, so that you're staying informed of all the updates and changes that are going on. Celebration trips. Trip is flights and accommodations for 2. It's not transferable, no cash to another person. Customers, distributors registered before or after promo period will not count. So again, it's all about new business. And personal volume does not count toward your new PGPV. So again, that legacy volume you have, again, doesn't count. This is why brand new people who are excited, people who are building right now, they're the people who are going to be going on this trip. So make your plans, put your 2023 goals together to include the Maui trip. As you're putting your goals together, let's also talk about the Road to Platinum Director. And this is a new program that just got rolled out. And I have to tell you, I'm excited by this. I was, I guess, maybe this is just a personal thing. Being a legacy ambassador, being one of those individuals, Linda, working with Linda to build all the way up to double platinum within the old program, ambassador program. It was disheartening, I think, when they, Relive made a decision that they were going to end that program and start the Global Ambassador Program. I saw some good things in the Global Ambassador Program, but admittedly, it just didn't have the energy that I had hoped it would. And I think a lot of other people were a little disappointed in it. Well, what I didn't know was behind the scenes, Scott Montgomery was working diligently to actually revamp the previous ambassador program and really put some really great incentives in it, incentives that put money back into the pockets of those people who achieved various levels. Actually create incentives to build your business deep and wide. And that's something I think that was missing, a vital component that was missing from the Global Ambassador program, Global Ambassador team, was the incentives to build your business deep and wide. That is what builds a sustainable business, period. That's what builds a business that's going to be around for a lifetime, is building deep and building wide. This program does that. This program, I believe, really hits all the high points that are necessary to incentivize people to build a sustainable business that will be around for years. And so I'm really excited by this program. I think it is going to be an amazing boost to the Relive company and to the business and to each of you who participate in it. So with that in mind, I know I'm glossing over the whole thing here, but if you haven't seen this, I'm going to let everybody actually do their own due diligence here and dig into this thing a little more. Go to the Relive website. It's all right there. And again, it incentivizes you to build up to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. And it does it right. Yes, we have the bonus program. If you become a director, there's that $250 bonus. Hit key director, there's a $500 bonus. And those are always great additions to your paycheck. And all they really are is just a thank you for building your business, moving your business forward. But things get a little more serious when you hit that senior director. Now you can participate. Not only do you get that $1,000 bonus for hitting the level, but now you can also participate in and receive a 0.5% of worldwide sales calculated on 5 levels of organizational BV. So now you're not just making override income, but you've got a 6th form of income. You're able to participate in a bonus based on worldwide sales. And that's really key. That's something that's part of an ambassador bonus that was only available before at the ambassador level. Now you can start earning that at the senior director level and continue that into the master director level too, and start receiving that additional bonus. These weren't available before. This additional form of income wasn't available. It's now going to be available both at the senior and master director level. And it gets better as you move up into the presidential level. There's 1% on the 4th and 5th levels. So now you're starting to really build some additional steady income into your business, helping that business be more sustainable. This goes on from here. I don't have the other chart available, but I want you to examine it, because as you move your business beyond presidential and you start building successful people below you, people who are building, also hitting those various levels below you, now you're starting to build a sustainable business. Now you're building some depth in your business. Okay. Then you start adding additional percentages all the way up to 2%. Now this isn't the star director bonus. This is a completely different bonus to add additional income into your paycheck. So this should be part, when you're putting your goals together for 2023, achieving the next level, moving your business to the next level should be part of that. And putting the pieces together, the plan of action together to make that happen should definitely be part of your 2023 goals. To move up and start achieving this ambassador bonus, even though it's starting in your senior director level. So if you're there, if you're trying to move to senior or trying to move to master, make that happen in the new year and be rewarded for doing so. Not just from a one-time bonus, but an ongoing bonus for achieving that level. Okay. So take some time, look at this Road to Platinum program. I'm really excited by it. This is the type of program that built Relive right from the beginning. That this ambassador program that we had before, this is an enhancement of that. So I'm excited by it. I hope you are too. If you're not, take the time to read through it, because there's some great opportunities here to build something really amazing in your business. So in review here, 2023, let's start it fast. Remove the obstacles that are in your way. I'm one of those who hates to leave things unfinished. It just nags at me if it's something around the house or something in business, or maybe it's someone that I've been meaning to reach out to and I just haven't done it. It'll nag at me. Remove the obstacles in your life. Wrap things up. Put things away. Finish things. Get things out of the way so that you can start the new year with a fresh start, clear sailing, move ahead, and not be held back by the things that are impediments, roadblocks in your way. Review 23 objectives with your team and set a calendar to achieve month by month and by quarter. And again, I absolutely believe that things need to be broken down into bite-sized pieces. Don't just say, well, my 2003 goal is this by December. Break it down into quarter by quarter. By the end of the first quarter, this is where I'm going to be. At the end of the second quarter, where I'm going to be. What are your monthly goals as far as maybe new customers or new distributors, new partners in your business? Break it down into bite-sized pieces. And by doing that, it allows you to have successes. It allows you to achieve a level of success each time, and celebrate that, by the way. Don't stop. A mistake people make, unfortunately, is they hit a goal and they take their foot off the accelerator. Okay, this is something Linda taught me in the very, very beginning, was human nature is, oh, I achieved that goal. And then they stop and they take a big, deep breath. They take their foot off the accelerator and they lose the momentum that got them to achieve that goal. The opposite is actually true. You need to put your foot on the accelerator. When you hit a goal, pat yourself on the back, but at the same time, shove your foot to the floor on the accelerator and move forward. Keep going forward. Take all that momentum, that energy that got you there, and take it into the next month and the month after that. Do this with your team. Work with your team. Pull your team together. This is a great time to review goals and build energy and build excitement into the new year. Time to freshen up your stories. I think kind of like changing the batteries in your smoke alarm, at the end of the year. This is also a good time to freshen up your stories, your elevator speech, your pitch to people. It is so funny. I've gone to some events or even Zoom meetings, and I've heard people tell their story, and it's like my lips are moving because I can actually say their story along with them. I've heard the same story almost as if it was recorded. Kind of reminds me of, way back in the olden days when I was young. My sister had a doll that had a ring and a string in the back of it. And you pull the ring and the string would come out, and the doll would talk, keep saying kind of the same thing over and over again. And that's how our stories get to be sometimes. And I think sometimes it's great to refresh them up. Our lives change, new things are occurring around us, and our stories change. So we should keep things fresh with people. And by the way, when you tell a story to somebody, have a conversation with them. Don't act like you're reading it or it's memorized. I think every one of us has the ability, if someone asks, well, how have these products help you? You can just turn around and have a conversation with them, tell them how these products have helped you, or how this business has given you opportunities that you didn't have before. Think about how you are meeting prospects. This is also a good time to kind of review things in your life. Do I need to expand what I'm doing? Do I need to join a meetup somewhere, a new group? Maybe I've always wanted to join that bocce league. I'm going to go join that and have fun, but also be around new people, meet new people. Find ways of getting out and meeting new people, putting yourself into new situations. I know that can be a little difficult at times, but you never know the new friends you're going to meet along the way. And those friends may be very interested in what you're doing because you look great. You take these great products and you're looking great and you're feeling great, and they want what you have. Understand why you do this business. I'm reminded as to why I do this business all the time. I love my life. This business brought me my wife. It has allowed us to have an amazing opportunity. The fact that I'm spending this time this month in Tahoe, and I can do it versus being, being somewhere Monday morning at a job and sitting behind a desk. I get to do this. And in doing so, our daughter graduated debt-free from college. We've been able to fund so many different projects to help other people, things that are important to Linda and I. Those things motivate me. Those are the things that when my feet hit the floor in the morning, those are things that I want to move forward. I want to keep doing those things. And this business gives me the opportunity to do that. What is it for you? What motivates you? What is your why? I'm going to leave you with this thought. The things you need to finish the year strong are the exact same things that you should have been doing all year long. The only difference is that time is no longer an ally, it's your adversary. So here we are, 2 months left in this year. What can you accomplish? What unfinished goal can you nail before the end of the year? See what you can do to move your business forward and then celebrate. And then move right on down, put your foot down and move right into 2023. I would love to hear stories from people that are on this call that are going to Hawaii. I'd love to hear stories later on going, I finished the year strong. I went into 2023 with incredible passion and motivation, and I got on that Maui trip. Wouldn't that be a wonderful story to tell? And how would that build your business as you tell that story to others who want what you have? So with that, I'm going to thank you again for being with us this Saturday morning. Thank you for taking this time, and go out and make it a great day. Do something special today. Who will you speak to today about Relive? Make it your goal to talk to one new person today about Relive. Thank you. Mindy, thanks so much for hosting this. I appreciate it. And thank you for inviting me on.
Because there's an opportunity to figure out the way